Hoovering is a term that you'll hear quite often when dealing with cluster B personality types. Those include the histrionics, also known as the somatic narcissists, bipolar disorder, antisocial, which includes sociopaths and psychopaths, and narcissists. It's a manipulation tactic, one of their many, and it's designed to suck you back into the relationship after a breakup or a fight. Hoovering is named after the Hoover vacuum. So by now you should be pretty familiar with the relationship cycle, and if you're not, I'll put a link down below so you can rewatch that if you need to. There are 3 phases: idealization, devalue, and discard. Hoovering can sort of be considered the 4th phase. So after a breakup with a narcissist, they keep you in a mental warehouse, and when they're going through a dry spell and finding new sources of supply, they sort of go through this catalog of inventory, and they pick you out and they recycle you. A narcissist cannot exist on their own because a personality isn't real. They live on the reaction they get from other people, so they always need someone by their side. Every person that the narcissist encounters serves a purpose. So you might be sex, you might be transportation, money, social status, anything like that. Your love, your friendship, your company, it's meaningless. They will target their previous partners for different reasons, depending on what they're lacking at the time. If they have a lot of errands to run, they may target someone with a car. If they haven't gone food shopping in a while, they might target an ex who always cooked for them or always paid for dinner. It's all out of convenience. Hoovering is not a sign that they love or they miss you. It's just a sign that they feel that they can use you for something. Now, a lot of people feel very sad that their narcissist isn't hoovering them. Don't be. They only hoover you back in if they feel that you're weak and they feel that they can extract something from you. Because narcissists and sociopaths, they don't view people as people. They view them as sources of supply. So if you can't currently offer them something, you are useless. They don't look at you as a source of love or companionship because they don't think in those terms. If they're hoovering you back in, it's not because they miss you. They don't understand what that is. They only know how to use you. I know in the moment it's very hard to disregard that, and believe me, I was sucked back in numerous times because they're very, very charming and they're very convincing. Now, consciously, they think that they miss you and they love you. So in their conscious mind, that's how they're feeling, but in the subconscious mind, which is the part of their mind that they're unable to control or understand, it has nothing to do with loving or missing you. It has to do with needing some type of supply. It has to do with something that can feed their ego. They do something called love dosing, also known as love breadcrumbs, and it's a very diluted form of love bombing. Love dosing is when they give you little bits of love just to give you something that you crave. They give you the bare minimum. It's apologies, promises. They might say things like, I need you. But remember, the word need is a red flag on its own. Nobody should need you. They should want you. And they don't, because it's all about need. It has nothing to do with want. In my previous video, I mentioned that hoovering is generally pretty effective because narcissists prey on our sense of hope. We hope that their promises and their love are real this time. We hope that the narcissist really does want us back to change and be good to us. So we keep giving them another chance. As I mentioned before, right after they get us back, things seem very perfect, but they eventually revert back to treating us badly. And it's always worse than it was before. The narcissist promises that things will get better, and they might actually appear to be getting better, but eventually all of the progress evaporates, and the narcissist regresses into the person he was before. In the devalue stage, and the cheating, and the lies, and the put-downs, they start all over again. So before they try to suck you back in, the first step is just to open up a line of communication. They might call you or text you and say, hey, how are you? We should get together, we should talk about things. They might say, hey, you have this thing of mine, I need it back. Or, hey, you left this thing here, do you need it? Odds are they couldn't care less about whatever that thing is. They just want to open up a line of communication. Narcissists are very charming and very manipulative and very, very convincing. So if they can start a conversation with you, they know that they can start working their charm, and they know that they can suck you back in. Robert was very predictable in the way he would hoover me back in. Narcissists establish a pattern, and they're creatures of habit. He would start sending me tons of pictures of us together, photos of himself looking sad, pictures of his cat. He would send me pictures of drawings that I had done and left at his house. I guess to sort of show me that he never threw them out. And though the first few times we'd broken up, he didn't have to make any promises. He didn't have to prove his love. He would just beg, and I would go back to him. I felt so insecure that when I was given the attention that I craved, it was really all I needed. The last 2 or 3 times we'd broken up, he realized that simply begging and giving me empty promises wouldn't be good enough. So he started doing more intense things. He took me on a trip. He started therapy, and he went to it a few times before he quit. The second to last breakup was this past summer of 2015, and he went all out. He wrote me a song, which, you would think was pretty sweet, but it wasn't for me. He was a conceited musician, so it was just really for him. He bought me a giant bouquet of flowers, and he actually proposed to me. So we ended up getting back together for a few months, and the relationship it just died a very slow death. I finally had to pull the plug on it in December. The last stretch of the relationship, from August to December, that was when I really threw myself into researching narcissism and codependency. I realized that he had all the red flags of a narcissist, and I realized that I was a codependent. I also realized where it stemmed from, and as I've said, my mother is a classic example of a narcissist. Out of a textbook. It was during this time that I really sat him down and confronted him about his behavior, which you're never supposed to do. You never confront or call out a narcissist on their behavior. And after that, things just weren't the same. He behaved almost as if he was a magician and was scared because I was reading about magic and I knew too much. So we ended up having a huge, messy breakup about a week after Thanksgiving of 2015. And that breakup was called the grand finale. It's the very last breakup you will ever have with a narcissist, and that will be my next video.